It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Alright guys, I am back with my true story of how my father abandoned me when I was 8 and then tried to sue me 20 years later for talking about it. My father's name is Vince Coleman. He is a St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Famer. He was married to a woman named Lynette. They had 2 boys and they were living in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, with my father playing for the Cardinals, he was always in St. Louis. So, while he was on his cheating parade with multiple women, he met my mother, told my mother he was not married, told my mother he didn't have any sort of family, and proceeded to start a relationship with her. She even went to some of his games. They were not married. I came along. When I was born, he was not there at the hospital. He actually didn't meet me until I was 4 months old. So get this, 5 years later, Lynette still has no idea that her husband has a whole child. This is how she found out. My father took me and my 2 older brothers, mind you, this is the first time I ever met my 2 older brothers, on a trip. When we returned from the trip, my 2 older brothers go to Lynette and say, "We have a little sister." Yeah. This caused Lynette to file for divorce from my father. And she then met me and my mother, which my mother profusely apologized to her for what happened. And Lynette and my mother became friends, actually. Lynette told my mom, 1, Vince dishonored our vows, not you. There were many women that he was cheating with. And 2, she told my mother, it's up to us to keep these kids together because Taylor is the boy's little sister and I want her in their lives. He was in my life for a few more years and then started to become distant. He started treating my 2 brothers the same, which, mind you, he had from a marriage that he wanted. One day, I'm asking, why hasn't Dad called? Da-da-da-da-da. My mom kept this from me because she did not want to hurt me. But she called my father one day when I was around 8 years old and said, why aren't you answering Taylor's phone calls? Da-da-da-da. He said, that's your mother-daughter now, and hung up. Never saw my dad again. Okay, so now we're just going to fast forward 20 years. I've been raised by a single mother, built a house, graduated from college. You know, I just went on with my life the best that I could. My mother did as well. One thing that my mother and I always like to do is go back home for baseball games, to go back to Busch Stadium. And we had never been to an opening day game before, so that was on our bucket list. And about 2 years ago now, we went to an opening day game. When we arrived at Busch Stadium, there's a store, there's Cardinal Nation, and there's a big store where you can go and buy all the gear. She asked me if I wanted to go in the store. I said, of course. We go into the store, and I'm looking at some gear. And I bump into a little boy. And it was weird because when I bumped into him, it was almost like I felt like I kind of knew him somehow. But I just was like, oops, sorry. And he goes, oops, sorry. And I remember thinking to myself, he's so cute. Y'all, this was one of the most traumatizing moments of my life. 2 minutes later, I hear a voice behind me. And I knew this voice from the depths of my soul. And I turn around and I see my father walking alongside the little boy that I just bumped into. Immediately, I knew that is my little brother. I froze. I felt like the world stopped spinning. I almost felt dizzy. Immediately, I start searching the store for my mother. Long story short, we go up to him and confront him. For those of you asking me, why haven't you asked him? Why don't you? I saw him face to face. And long story short, this is what happened. He did not answer my questions. He deflected all of my questions. And then he left the store to never be seen again. That's how it went. He would not answer anything. And he treated me like... So I'm in tears after he leaves the store, literally shaking. I have never cried this hard in my entire life. And some other things transpired after that, me learning about all this family I had on his side that I didn't even know, because he does not talk to any of his family. My grandpa, his father, recently passed away, didn't even come to the funeral. He didn't come to my brother's wedding, Vincent Jr., didn't even come to his own freaking son's wedding, hasn't met his own grandchild. I'm talking, this man literally has cut off everyone except for the sorry excuse of a stepmother he's married to now named Denise Coleman. I want to make sure y'all all know that name. Denise Coleman. Google it. And the sickest part is his first wife that he had 2 children by took her own life. Do you think he was at the funeral? It's Vince Coleman. What do you expect? So after I have digested all of this and had all of this trauma come to the forefront after so many years of just bottling it up and not talking about it at all. I mean, literally my closest friends, even people I dated, didn't even know who my dad is. I kept it a complete secret because I was ashamed. But the day I saw him in the store changed everything. And I was like, I have so much to say. I've always been artistic and creative. I used to write when I was little. I would write poetry. So I said, I am going to write a book. And this book is going to be for 2 purposes. 1, to help me heal, because it sure as hell did. It made such an impact on my personal healing. And 2, to help others navigate this exact situation of their fathers abandoning them. And I had so many people thank me for my courage to write that book. So I have Cardinals fans reaching out to me, people all over the US, doing interviews. It was amazing. And then 3 months after I self-published, I get an email. Not from my father. He didn't even have the balls to reach out himself. It's an email from his lawyer. A cease and desist letter stating that if I do not unpublish my book, not only if I don't unpublish my book, if I don't stop interviewing, if I don't stop talking about it on social media platforms, wanted to completely silence me, he will sue me. I think this proves that I was telling the truth. Because let me tell you something. Only a hit dog hollers. And then on top of that, he then goes, so he can reach out personally to the people who interviewed me, demanding that they take down the interviews because he's ashamed and embarrassed and literally cannot even wrap his head around what's going on right now. So you can reach out personally to these journalists, but you can't reach out to your own daughter. Clearly you have my information, you have my phone number, you have my email, you even have my address. But you'd rather hide behind your lawyer than just have a simple conversation with your daughter and answer her questions about why you left, why you refused to have a relationship with her now that she's a grown adult that you haven't seen in 20 years, why you choose to cherry pick and take care of my little sister and my little brother, who I just learned that I have, instead of all your kids.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. We back in the confessional. And yes, we staying lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to my homeboy Lucky Wheels and Deals, man. You can check out his YouTube channel, Lucky Wheels and Deals. Hey man, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section. Now this gets deep. Okay, this is the daughter of Vince Coleman, who is a retired Hall of Famer for the Major League Baseball, MLB, Major League Baseball. Okay, he played for the St. Louis Cardinals, New York Mets, and I believe a few other teams. Not really 100% too sure, but I think just maybe one, because back then players didn't switch teams that much. Maybe once or twice in their career, but not like you wouldn't see them doing, rounds like they do in the NBA and stuff like that. They go to this team, that team, this team. No, you played where you stayed, and it was enough players to go around. But so Taylor Michelle Coleman, has let out her truth. She obviously has a book out. I bet it's very traumatizing. So if you people, men and women who have daddy issues, if y'all want to check out her book, you feel free to check out her book. I'm gonna leave the link to this TikTok in the bio so you guys can check this out, because I mean, this may be informative to you, but it's a deep story to me, okay? And I just like to deep dive in some drama, okay? I got some more for you too. But anyway, let's hear more about her story, and she could, talk more about her dad and how he was a piece of crap and all this stuff. I don't have daddy issues. I love my father. Now, my kids, I don't know how they feel. You know what I'm saying? I got child custody cases on 3 of the 5, and I mean, at this point, it's up to them. You know what I mean? But, the phone line is open. I'll be looking for y'all in the dark with a flashlight. You hear me? You got to stay in these kids. Sometimes you got to track a woman down. A lot of women, they like to keep their kids away from the fathers. But in this case, this nigga's a deadbeat. And we don't support deadbeats around here. Deadbeat moms or dads, okay? Now, you can't be a deadbeat. You can't even start off being good, cheat on your wife, have a baby, decide, I'm going to just be a father to these kids and be a deadbeat on the side. That ain't how that work, okay? And then you leave all them 3 and start to have 2 more and be deadbeats. They grown. I don't need to worry about them. They got their own life. So, needless to say, he was a dirtbag from the get. And sometimes, he was in his own way. He was one of those guys that was in his own way. And it shows. So let's get into it.
Disclaimer, I'm going to need y'all to start doing some research on my father before you start defending him. Because, honey, have you not heard the name Cindy Powell? The woman that he... Or have you not heard about all the videos Frank the Tank at Barstool Sports has done about him throwing military-grade firecrackers at fans that made a baby permanently deaf? Or maybe we should talk about the fact that when he was interviewed about Jackie Robinson, he said, "Who is Jackie Robinson?" And then Jackie Robinson's widow even made a statement in an article saying, "I hope one day he is ashamed by his own ignorance." Go off, Jackie. Because he is ignorant. And also, didn't my dad break Dwight Gooden's arm with a golf club? And didn't the New York Mets manager say that Coleman should never be seen in a Mets jersey ever again?
Number 1,
Vince Coleman. When he was at the Cardinals, he ran the Mets ragged. Stole 120 out of 120 bases. I mean, he was a Met killer. He led the league in stolen bases. All 6 years he was with the Cardinals. Comes to the Mets, he's injured all the time. He's arguing with the players, arguing with the fans, arguing with this, and then to top it off, he threw an M80 firecracker at a group of autograph seekers, injuring children, including one 18-month baby, older baby, who suffered permanent hearing damage. That's Vince Coleman as a Met. My least favorite Met, biggest scumbag to ever put on a Mets uniform.
Thanks, Frank.
And my last point is, which is super important to note, my lawyer basically told me that his entire cease and desist letter proves my book. Because nowhere in that cease and desist letter did he have any copies of emails, call logs, visits, anytime that he picked me up from school, pictures, nothing proves that he was in my life from the age of 8 years old. Because he wasn't. Because I told the truth. So he kind of just proved that everything I said was true. Which is just hilarious. So yeah, guys. That's Vince Coleman for you. And by the way, he does have 5 kids. 5 kids by 3 different women. Yep. 5 kids.
Yeah, everyday people, man. Let me know what y'all think of this, man. If you have any stories about your deadbeat baby mama, baby daddy, create a TikTok. Send it to me. I'm everydaypj on TikTok, and you could just message me, send me a message. I'll be checking my no, I really don't. I don't be checking my messages like that. Don't give me the line. But I'll try. If I do be having some hidden messages. I just found out I have them. So yeah. So if you send me a message, I'll review your story and we'll put it out there. Okay? We'll all celebrate deadbeat moms and dads all day long because I despise them. Okay? Like I said, it takes nothing to be a father. Sometimes, it does take something. You got to have a lot of courage, especially with these women. Some of them are tough. Okay, when you get your taxes back this year, go file for custody. Get you some visitation rights. Stop playing, nigga. It ain't time to buy Jordans. It's time to see them kids. Buy them Jordans. But after you get custody, you might have to take a year off of getting anything for them because you got to spend the money on the baby. If you with a woman and your woman does not encourage you to get a child custody agreement with your baby mama, then that's not the woman for you, dog. That woman trying to hold you back. And then if you have a baby with her, she's gonna do the same thing that you do, that your other baby mama doing. She gonna do it to you. Okay, so don't be with them baby mom. Don't be with them women. You know that's women be like, oh, you didn't bring her your clothes. I'm not keeping. You can't see her this week till you bring the clothes. Like what the man. Women make this is my story. Y'all story can't be different. Y'all could be like, men make the dumbest excuses. My tire flat. Nigga, you drove your mama car for 2 years. You better call your mama, get her car, come get these kids. I've seen stuff like that. But that ain't my story to tell. Okay? I've seen deadbeats like, man, I gotta work and be at home on the PlayStation all day for hours and hours and hours. Yeah, I seen it. So, I've seen it in both ways. I just seen more on the deadbeat mom side than I have on the deadbeat dad side. So, like I said, share your story. I'll share mine. Everyday people, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'ma holla at you later. Peace.